In this video, you guys are going to learn about compound inequalities. So last class you learned about inequalities and just graphing them on a number line. Here you're going to learn about compound inequalities. Now this is just when there's two simple inequalities combined into one using the word and or. So the first one we're going to look at are the ors. What that means is if you look at the example up top here, x is less than 3 or x is greater than 5. So x is less than 3 is graphed this way, and x is greater than 5 is graphed this way. Those numbers that fall in between will never be a solution to your inequality set up like this. It can either be the stuff to the left, or it can be all the stuff to the right, but it'll never be anything in between. Alright, so we're going to do one example with an or because you're going to see it's pretty straightforward. You have two equations. 1, 2. The first one is 4x plus 3 is less than 11. And go ahead and write that down. And your second one is 3x minus 4 is greater than 8. Now this is just like your last lesson. We're just solving for the x's. So I'm going to subtract 3. 4x is less than 8. Divide by 4. X is less than 2. So I have one inequality to graph. Look at my other one. Add 4. Divide by 3. I have my other inequality. And remember, because this is an or, my arrows have to go out. They should never overlap with an or. So, x is less than 2. I go to 2. It's an open circle at 2. X is less than that. 1's less than 2, so I'm going to the left. Go to 4. Open circle. X is greater than 4. 5 is greater than 4, so I'm going this direction. Which means these numbers in between do not satisfy either inequality, but the outsides will satisfy at least one. I'm skipping over the second one. I'm jumping to the ends. Ends are intersections. So you'll notice up top here with the example they're giving you, they're saying negative 6 is less than negative 3x, which is less than 18. They break it up into two, and I'm going to show you an example of both, where they get x is less than 2, and x is greater than negative 6. They graphed it on two different number lines, so you can see the first one is the x is less than 2. The bottom one is the x is greater than negative 6. The final answer is only where they overlap, and you'll notice they're overlapping in this little area between negative 6 and 2. That is an end compound inequality, and it must satisfy both inequalities. So unlike the or, an end must satisfy both. So I'm going to show you another way to do it, and again I'm going to show you both methods. I have technically two inequalities here. I can cover up that less than 10, and now you have negative 2 is less than or equal to 3x minus 8. I can cover up that negative 2 with that less than or equal to symbol, and you have 3x minus 8 is less than or equal to 10. So you technically have two inequalities you can write out and solve. I am going to show you a quick way to just simplify both at the same time. I'm worrying about the stuff in the middle. I want to clean it up so at the end I only have the x in the middle like I would up top here. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I'm adding 8 to that negative 2, and I'm adding 8 to that 10. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6, so now I have 6 is less than or equal to 3x. That cancels, less than or equal to 18. And now I still want to get that x by itself, so I have to divide it by 3. What I do there, I have to do on both sides. 6 divided by 3 is 2, which is less than or equal to 3 simplified to 1, less than or equal to 6. Now I have the two numbers I need to graph. They're both going to be closed circles because of the equal sign. And I just connect them with a line. So if I picked any number in between here, it would satisfy both. So if I were to say 4, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4, and 4 is definitely greater than negative 2, and definitely less than 10. Alright, in my next one I'm going to show you the same way, then add that second method for you. So here, subtract 6, 2 is less than or equal to negative 2x. 6 is cancel. 12. I now have to divide everything by negative 2. Negative 1, and because I'm dividing by negative 2, these signs are flipping. So, my number line is not a good guy. Gotta rewrite it up here. Negative 7. Okay, so negative 1 and negative 6 are both closed circles. And I am going to draw the line between them. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the other method where you can break it up into two inequalities at the top. And like I said, you can break it into two equations or two inequalities. I'm going to cover up the less than or equal to 18 sign. And I'm going to have 8 is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 6. I can also cover up this inequality sign and everything to the left of that, and I have an inequality over here. Negative 2x plus 6 is less than or equal to 18. So now I have two inequalities to solve. It's going to be an end because it's set up like this. From there, I do the math. Subtract 6. 2 is less than or equal to negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. Because I'm dividing by the negative, the sign flips. And I get negative 1 is greater than or equal to x. Same thing here. Divide by negative 2. Because I'm dividing by a negative, my sign flips, and 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. So you're going to have two inequalities. Negative 1 is greater than or equal to x, and because we had an end up top here, x is greater than or equal to negative 6. You would do the graphing the same exact way. Negative 7, negative 6, negative 5. I'm going to graph this one in blue. So go to negative 1, and I'm putting a closed circle at negative 1. Negative 1 is greater than or equal to x, so all the numbers to my left are less than negative 1. And I'm going to do this one in pink. X is greater than or equal to negative 6. So go to negative 6, close the circle. And it's x is greater than, so all numbers greater than negative 6, which is this direction. Now if you notice, I told you it's only where it overlaps. So our final answer is just the information for the numbers that fall between negative 6 and negative 1. Right, if you have any questions, just make sure you ask your teacher or sign in to office hours for some help.